I am Antonio Dong and this is Full Throttle. I'm going to show you how the car engine works. To begin with, let's look at a single piston, the powerhouse of the engine, and work our way outwards. The 4-stroke cycle. When a piston travels to the end of its range, whether up or down, that is called a stroke. Car engines use a 4-stroke cycle, and this is how it goes. First, the intake stroke. The piston descends and sucks in air-fuel mixture into the cylinder through the intake port, and when both valves are open. Then compression. Next, compression with all valves closed happens. The piston comes back up, compressing the fuel-air mixture for more powerful combustion. Then the power stroke. An electrical spark ignites the compressed air-fuel mixture, and the resulting combustion forces the piston back to the bottom of the cylinder again. The connecting rod transfers the power to the crankshaft. And lastly, the exhaust stroke. The piston comes back up, forcing spent air-fuel mixture through open exhaust valves and through the exhaust port. When all the multiple pistons are connected to attain smooth power delivery, pistons take turns firing. The firing order for this is 1, 3, 4, and 2. Camshafts with specially shaped cams push spring-loaded valves open in turns. Cam gears and a timing belt or chain links everything to the crankshaft, and that all spins together. The crankshaft transfers piston power out of the engine. It has counterweights to balance against the pistons for perfectly smooth revolution. This is the meaning of RPM, revolutions per minute, the number of all crankshaft revolutions in a minute. The engine block holds the crankshaft and cylinders, while the cylinder head holds the valves, ports, cams, etc. A geared flywheel sits on one side of the crankshaft and is connected to a transmission. It is also where the starter is connected to the system. This engine has 4 cylinders in a row or in line. There are also other arrangements like 6 cylinders with 3 on each side angled in a V shape, or even 8. Despite different design goals, the basic engine parts are all there. Let's take a look at other components that aid the combustion process. Air intake. Air comes in through the air filter and into the intake manifold, where it mixes with fuel before being sucked into individual cylinders through the intake port. The fuel system. Fuel pump that is fitted into the gas tank carries petrol or fuel from the gas tank through a fuel filter to the engine, where fuel injectors emit a spray of precisely timed volume of fuel into the intake ports. During operations, engines get very hot, requiring a cooling system. Cooling channels around cylinders and through cylinder heads carry a special liquid called antifreeze coolant, or even ordinary water, not advisable though, to keep temperature within safe operating range. Antifreeze coolants don't freeze during extremely cold weather. After cooling hot engine parts, coolant recirculates through the radiator. The radiator is built with a network of tubes and fins. Coolant passes through the coolant channels, while air pulled in by the fan blows the tube, cooling the hot liquid for recirculation. A water pump keeps the cooling system flowing and properly pressurized. A thermostat regulates coolant temperature by either routing coolant back through the engine or to the radiator for further cooling. Equally important is the electrical bit of the combustion system. The spark plug delivers the electrical sparks that ignite the fuel-air mixture for combustion. The metal core is insulated from the outer metal casing with porcelain. The spark jumps between these conductive surfaces. A coil pack delivers electrical current to the spark plugs as directed by the Engine Control Module, the ECM. The ECM is a computer that directs many engine functions like spark timing, valve opening and closing timing, air-to-fuel ratio. The alternator is a power generator that converts the engine mechanical energy into electricity to charge the battery or run the car's other electrical system while the engine is running. The battery powers the starter motor to start the engine. Engine oil used to lubricate, clean, prevent corrosion, and proof sealing and cool the engine by carrying heat away from the moving parts. Rings around the top of the piston head keeps oil out of the combustion process while still allowing the cylinders to be lubricated. Oil galleries are channels through engine block and cylinder head that carry oil to various engine parts. Oil flows to the engine and back to the oil pan for recirculation. Oil rests in the oil pan when not in circulation. The oil pump keeps oil properly pressurized and flowing, while the oil filter keeps oil clean and free from contaminants. The exhaust manifold collects gases from multiple cylinders into one pipe. Exhaust flows through the catalytic converter, which captures toxic chemicals from the engine combustion, then out through mufflers that reduces exhaust noise. Finally, this is the full functional engine with all the basic systems we have discussed. Thank you, and if you haven't, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it, and do not miss out by clicking the notification bell so that you get our amazing pieces of content yet to come on this channel.